here with a full review and natural daylight demo and story time of the new Chanel makeup release. This is the Chanel 2026 Spring Makeup Collection. You wouldn't think that it is spring looking at my face. Of course, I have them all on my face. Looks more like a fall color story, right? We'll get into that. I've got a lot to say about this collection. So I have it all right here. The Rouge Noir Spring Collection right here in this bag. Let's go jump right into it. Hi my lovely people, welcome back to another fabulous luxury makeup review. You know, on my channel, it's not just about luxury makeup, but it's about everything luxury. Everything luxury, beauty, fashion, and lifestyle. That's what my channel is about. So if you are into everything high-end and luxury, this is the place for you. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel and ring the notification bell and follow me on social media. So today I am here with the new Chanel makeup collection. I have it all in here. And I gotta say, I'm shocked, okay? Because this color story, I almost feel like they didn't do this fast enough. I almost feel like this was a mistake. Almost feel like this was a makeup release that was supposed to happen last year in the fall time, and it just got delayed. I felt like before the holiday collection, there was a big gap, and I almost feel like this was meant to be released last fall. I mean, look at this color story. Who does VAMP? A color that literally used to be called VAMP, which is now called Rouge Noir. Who would do that kind of color story for spring? All right, so let me get started with that. I have got the Chanel Rouge Noir Confidence face palette right here. And then I have the dark blackish red mascara here. This is Rouge Noir number 67 mascara in the Rouge Noir Allure formula. And then we have the Rouge Noir Lacquer in the shade Rouge Noir 167. And then we have the Rouge Allure Velvet shade 387 in Rouge Noir. And then we have the nail varnish, the Laverne's nail color here, 397 Rouge Noir, obviously. And then we have also the Stylo waterproof eyeliners, the famous Chanel eyeliners, in 67 Rouge Noir. So I have all the Rouge Noir parts of this release. I did not get the two single eyeshadows. Honestly, I kind of forgot to test them at the boutique and decide if I wanted them or not, but that's okay. I seldom use single shadows. It's really hard for me to remember to use them. And then also, this is a face palette. This is meant for eyes and face. So why? You know, why do I need to get the other two? So that's what's missing. And of course, there were a couple of other Rouge Allure Velvet shades that were not Rouge Noir. But the whole color story, the theme of this release is Rouge Noir. So I only bought the pieces that were Rouge Noir. I'm only missing like 3 pieces. All right, you guys, I want to jump right into this video. I am filming not in natural daylight in this intro and the outro and all that, but I definitely filmed the application demo in 100% daylight, natural daylight. It's a very dreary, dark, gloomy, rainy, wet day here where I live on the east coast of the United States. So sunlight was not the strongest, but I did what I could in the little natural daylight that I had, but it came out fine. So let's jump right into this review. Why delayed? So you guys, I want to show you something. This shade right there, you see on the side of this box, that is this legendary Rouge Noir shade. And of course, that's what's on my nails. what's on my lips, the Rouge Noir on the eyes and all that. That is the legendary shade. Why is the shade legendary? Well, let me tell you. In 1994, the Fall and Winter Show in October in Paris, apparently Karl Lagerfeld, this was the Chanel's Karl Lagerfeld era, he wanted a dark, almost blackish red shade that's almost black that he wanted to put on his models on the runway. But they didn't have a color like that. Apparently, the legend has it that the creative team somehow ended up taking a red nail polish and then putting a black marker on top of it. I don't know if this part is true or not, but that's what the story says. So apparently that's how they achieved that color. And then, of course, they turned that color into a Chanel shade, which they then called VAMP. Literally, it's like a vampy shade. Obviously, do you see that? You can see the purplish, maroonish red undertone underneath, but it has a black overtone to it. And a purple, maroon, like a purple eggplant, hot pink that's almost purple undertone to it with like a blackish overtone. So that's what this color is. That VAMP shade went crazy, viral as it could go back in the 90s. You know, it can't really go viral like it does today, you know, stuff do today. So apparently it was a really popular color. My wonderful, lovely, beautiful client advisor, Beth, at the Chanel boutique. It's not a beauty boutique, but it's a Chanel boutique with a beauty section. It is the Tyson's Corner Galleria boutique. Shout out to Beth. She is the best client advisor for makeup. She used to be able to do both leather goods and makeup, but they somehow separated that out. So I have a separate client advisor for my leather goods, and then I have Beth for my beauty products. So one of my friends called and I lost my train of thought. What was I talking to you guys about? Yes, I was telling you about Karl Lagerfeld and the VAMP color, right? In 1994, in October, they basically came up with that color, and VAMP became this like massive sensation, a huge phenomenon, right? And oh, I was saying my beautiful client advisor, that's how I got sidetracked. She is has been using Chanel for a very long time, since like the 80s and 90s. And she told me that she knew VAMP, the color Rouge Noir, when it was VAMP, and she at least bought 60 bottles of the Rouge Noir nail polish since the 90s when it came out. So she's a huge fan of this collection. This was like her dream come true, this collection. But anyway, so yeah, she was saying that VAMP was slightly different from, I asked her if VAMP, when it was VAMP, the precursor to this, is it the exact same color as this? And she said yes, and then she's like, yes, and then no, because like, do you see this color, the nail polish there? It's kind of like a blood red, a dark blood red. But she said the VAMP had a little bit more blue undertones than this. So it's like a slightly different in her opinion. So I never saw VAMP, so I wouldn't know. I'll try to find a picture of it and put it up here. Essentially what this color is, these cartons are that color as well. It's basically a color, so as Karl Lagerfeld explained it to his team when he asked for this color, he wanted a color that looked like dried blood, like a vampire, like dried up. You know how when blood dries, it becomes this dark black almost. So that's what he wanted. So that's what the team created for him by like apparently getting a red nail polish and then putting a black mark on top of it, whether that story is true or not. Anyway. So the point is that this is supposed to be a color that is a blood red, that is blackish. Okay, so if you will see when I show you some of these shades that there is a almost like a dark blue-ish magenta undertone. It's like almost eggplant. So it's like a red, and if you took the color eggplant and dark magenta, like you can see around my nails there, I messed up my nails right there. You can see what I'm talking about on the periphery. Like there's like a dark, almost magenta color under there that's kind of purplish. So it's what's underneath, and it's basically red with a black overtone and a eggplant dark magenta undertone, right? Red with black overtone and purple eggplant dark magenta undertone, if that makes sense. So that's what Rouge Noir is today. Whatever it was before when it was VAMP, I don't know. So let me get to so that was the story, the legend, the story, the whole how it came to be. So then later Chanel turned the VAMP color into Rouge Noir, and it became like almost like a sort of a permanent phenomenon at Chanel. So this is the Rouge Noir Confidence eyeshadow and blush palette. So this is a face palette that's supposed to be eyeshadows and blush. Now here it is. Here is the limited edition packaging, you guys. This has black overall, but on the front you get the Rouge Noir color. Do you see what I mean? It's like a dried blood, sort of a blackish red there. So yeah, so this is what Rouge Noir is today, and here is the beautiful palette. I almost didn't buy this because I have the 4-pan giant palette from not this last holiday but the holiday before, and it has like this sort of hot magenta, like purplish reddish colors in it already, but these are different from that one. So you get this beautiful dark magenta right there, this color right here. As you can see, it's kind of like a dark magenta, but not as dark as the undertone in this nail polish. And then you have like a almost like a shimmery reddish color there. And then so these three are blushes, and that one is a highlighter. So let me show you this one. This is a little bit more muted. It's like a dusty rose there with a little purple tone. And then this shade is, of course, the highlighter. So let me swatch them. Of course, I'm going to cut away now to the natural daylight demo, but I want to show you the swatches in studio lighting, and then I'm going to move on to the daylight demo. Then you can see the swatches in daylight as well. How awesome is that? All right, so here it is. You see that I used this palette on my face. So I first went in with the muted dusty rose in my crease, and then once I defined my lid with that, then I took that very dark magenta, gorgeous, beautiful rosy magenta, and I put that on the outer corner. And then I took that beautiful highlighter shade, and then I put that all over my eyelid. I took a little bit of that beautiful red color too, and then smudged under there as well on the lash line. Then you will see I will show you further here when I talk about the eyeliner. I also used the eyeliner on my eyes. I also bought the Stylo U waterproof Rouge Noir number 67 Chanel eyeliner. You guys know the drill with these. These are like that, you know, amazing Chanel formula that never budges. These stay on, they stay put for like a long time. Do you see that? So this shade, the thing about this Rouge Noir shade is when you kind of like rub it, you see that like blackish tone stays in the middle, but then like that underlying magenta, dark magenta purple kind of bleeds around it when you kind of rub it. Do you see that? So that's what Rouge Noir is. It's kind of like an eggplant with a purpley, mauvey, magenta undertones with a little black on the top. So that's what it is. So as you can see, you can see me rubbing this. You know this is not gonna be. See how it's not budging. It blurred a little, but it's not budging. It's gonna stay put. So as you can see here in the demo again in natural daylight, I took this eye pencil and I lined my upper lash line. I did a wing liner with it. I did a wing with this, and then I also, after doing the beautiful kind of like slightly thicker wing liner there, and I went underneath to my lash line, and I kind of, not in the waterline but on the outer edge of it, I just kind of framed my under lash line a little bit on the corner. So that's what I did. And actually I went later in with a, not from this collection, but another Chanel liner, one of those same formula, obviously the Stylo U pencil in like kind of a pink shade that's shimmery, and I put that in the waterline. So that's how I finished the eye look. So let me show you something I really didn't think I would like or even get. My client advisor had put it aside for me, so I bought it because she had it aside for me. I wasn't even a huge fan of this at all. I wasn't gonna buy it, but I ended up buying it. So I'm talking about the Noir Allure mascara. I don't like the Noir Allure mascara. I love Le Volume because it's very voluminous and it's amazing, but I find this Noir Allure gives you too much of a spidery lash look, not a voluminous look, rather like separated spidery look, which I'm not a huge fan of. So I wasn't like crazy about it. Sorry, my blinds are closing automatically because they're programmed to close automatically. If you hear like a that's what it is. Anyway, I'm in my closet, obviously. So not usually a fan of this particular mascara, but I bought it this time again. This is limited edition eggplant black reddish eggplant red black color, the Rouge Noir color, the barrel is, and it's the same packaging as it always is. You push and then it comes out. And as you can see, I don't love this type of spiky, applicator. The moment I see that, I know what kind of look it's gonna give. A volumizing mascara would have like almost like a big brush like applicator. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, this is the Rouge Noir color. I'm gonna just kind of rub this on my palm to see if it shows anything. Not really. It kind of getting muddy there, so let me see. So that is what, like right there, that mess right there, that's the mascara. So this is that same Rouge Noir color. I gotta tell you though, this surprised me. It went on really nicely, actually. The formula, by the way, these Noir Allure mascaras dry out really fast too. You only get to use it for like a couple of months. They dry out. So oh my god, you guys, I was speaking all this time with, I guess I smudged my lipstick on my chin. Why didn't you say something? Anyway, that's okay. I don't have my viewfinder today, so I can't really see my face. I'm glad I pulled the mirror out. So I gotta say, they like surprised me, because it's like, it is spidery and spiky look, but I don't hate it. Yeah, it's not black, but it really kind of completes this look, this mascara, because it's that same color. So it's kind of like cool. I'm not hating it. I like it, but will I choose it? Not really. You know the formula. It's kind of a very dry formula. The moment it goes on, it gets really crackly dry. And then also the tube dries out in about 2 months, which is why I'm not a huge fan of these. I would much rather have the Le Volume mascara by Chanel, but that's that. But I think it really gives a cool look, because it's almost like a blackish black vampy red. So it's not really red, it's almost like a blackish eggplant color that really blends well with the eyeliner I put there. So it kind of works for this look. So I'm not hating it. Is it my favorite product? No. All right, so next we have the two lip products right here. Obviously we have the Rouge Allure Velvet lipstick here in Rouge Noir. It's 387 Rouge Noir, and of course, just like any other Allure Velvet color, it's same component. And this, look at how black that looks, you guys. It almost looked like a blackish eggplant color, right? But now watch when I swatch this though. It's completely not completely different, but it like that underlying magenta color kind of comes through when you swatch. Let me smudge it. You can see it better if I smudged it. Do you see what I'm talking about? So it's kind of like this purpley mauvey undertone. There's a dark magenta under there that kind of bleeds through. Do you see what I'm talking about? So that's the lipstick that I'm wearing in this video, obviously. And here it is, the Natural Daylight demo. I mean, it is vampy. Why is this collection for spring? Blows my mind, and I have no idea why this qualifies as anything spring. I tell you something, I will not be wearing this in springtime. Okay, I will be wearing this. Now I had to wait a whole year to wear this in next fall, which is the best time to wear this. Although I will still probably wear a few times this winter before it becomes spring. But I tell you something for sure, I will not be wearing this in springtime. Do you see the lipstick is beautiful though? It's like that perfect Halloween color. Like if you went out as a vampire for Halloween, this would have been your perfect lip shade. You know what I mean? So they really missed the boat there. There's something going on here with this release that we don't know about. I really do think that they meant for this to be a fall color palette, that they somehow ran late or something went screwy and had to push out as a spring collection, I feel like. I mean, if this was intentional, wow. Vampy? Literally a shade that used to be called Vamp for spring. Are we doing okay? Are we well? The collective at Chanel, are we feeling well? But anyway, so that's that. I love it. I mean, I think it's gorgeous. But anyway, by the way, I have to go back to this palette because I want to show you how this is on the cheeks. Obviously, that's the blush I'm wearing on my cheeks. So here is the Natural Daylight demo to the blush application. Wait, actually, let me hold on before I put the Daylight demo. I want to show you these two colors are what I'm wearing. I put one color on one cheek, the other color on the other cheek, and then I kind of mixed and matched once I showed you each side with just on its own, and then I kind of, you know, made sure it blended well with the two colors together. And I did not use this color, but you can, yes, use this as a blush as well if you are more fair skins. This will still show up on my skin tone, but nobody darker than me, I don't think. And then the highlighter is pretty lovely. I mean, Chanel highlighters, you guys know Chanel formula. I love Chanel highlighters. They're really good. So yeah, so this is what it looks like in Natural Daylight. You know, me putting these two blush shades on my cheeks, and then of course the highlighter. And then of course I have Rouge Lac here in, again, 167 Rouge Noir. This I'm not crazy about it. I really wish I hadn't bought it because this is so patchy and so, these tend to be patchy. There are some that are really good, some that are not good. This is one of them that like is kind of streaky and patchy, and it is so dark. It's almost black, like it's blacker than the actual lipstick. This was like shocking to me. Here's the Natural Daylight demo. You can see my shock as to just how dark it is. You know, it's darker than I expected it. could have lived without this one. But then you guys, you know, that limited packaging, like limited edition packaging gets us always this all of this have that like red lettering, the limited edition, not red, like the Rouge Noir color lettering and top, and limited edition packaging and whatnot that we're all suckers for, right? So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the lac in this shade. All right, you guys, so what we have left is this beauty right here. This is actually, I gotta say, my favorite product out of all of the Rouge Noir collection here. I knew that this was a must because this is how it all got started, you know, trying to create a vampy nail color for KARL Lagerfeld, right? So I definitely bought the nail color 397 Rouge Noir. I didn't buy the magenta one. I mean, like, no. That's probably the magenta that's underneath this, you know. So it's like that. Anyway, I didn't buy that one because I have a ton of Chanel nail polishes around that same shade. I wasn't going to buy that. And this is a legendary shade, and I had to get it. Do you see it on my nails right there? So that is the Rouge Noir color on my nails, this color. Okay, let's cut away to me applying that on my island here in the closet. I'm not the best nail polish person, you guys, so bear with me. My manicure is out of town. And I meant to take this to her and have her do a manicure and then put this on, you know, so she would do it better than me. But anyway, this is the demo of me applying it. It is this beautiful like eggplant. I don't know, see, because I'm very bad at applying nail polish, it's kind of a good thing because you can see how it bled around my nail bed there, like cuticle, that you see that purple undertone there. Do you see it? Yeah, that's what the undertone is in this nail, in this Rouge Noir color. Okay, guys, I'm editing the video and I realized I didn't tell you guys a couple of things. Number one, there is a Balm Essential as well. You know, the Chanel stick highlighter balms, like the balm sticks. I have so many of them that I didn't want to buy yet another one. This one is pinky. I have pinky hues from Chanel from before. They're very emollient and very kind of a dewy look that it gives. It's kind of slippy a little bit. Some people don't like that. It's kind of like a dewy, kind of wet, kind of balmy look, you know, that it has. So I didn't get that one. Again, I wanted to focus on the main story, the Rouge Noir. And the other one I forgot to mention was the brush set. There were 3 brushes with the limited edition Rouge Noir barrels. Again, that's available. I'm not going to buy Chanel brushes because when I buy brushes, I want to focus on brands that specialize in brushes. So I usually go for natural hair brushes, or if it's synthetic, a company that specializes in that. I don't need to have like Chanel brushes, and if I were to have Chanel brushes, I want black ones. So I spend quite a bit of money getting high quality Japanese brushes or stuff like that, you know what I mean? So I didn't get the brush set either. So that's part of this collection. But again, I wanted to focus on the Rouge Noir main color story and items in this review. As for my final thoughts, I do like the face palette, although I don't think I had to purchase this because I already have other face palettes from Chanel just like this that have similar shades. But if you want to get this legendary color story, you know, Rouge Noir set, then yes. And of course, depending on your budget, the nail polish is a must. Like I said, it's my favorite, and I'll be wearing this nonstop this winter and next fall and winter. Obviously love it. I do love Chanel nail varnish. It's really nice. It has a nice glossy finish and they last fairly long. Not like super long lasting, but they don't chip that easily. And then we have the eyeliner, which is really nice. I mean, it will not budge like once you put it on. So I really do like Chanel's eyeliner formula, and this color, Rouge Noir, definitely a nice one to have. The mascara, so sure, it's kind of cool. It goes with the whole eye look. Is it something I will wear on a regular basis? Probably not. Every now and then on a special kind of outfit and look, will I use it? Probably. But then did I have to buy it? No. because I have that exact mascara in black and a couple other colors. So, you know, one of my other most favorite items from this collection is the Rouge Allure Velvet, which is what's on my lip. It's absolutely gorgeous. Let me see here. I want to look in the mirror. I need to see it in a mirror and have my memory refreshed. Like I said, I don't have my viewfinder, which is how I fell victim to talking to you with smudging on my chin. I had smudged my lipstick somehow on my chin. I didn't know that I did. Anyway, so this is a very purpley, vampy, eggplant-ish shade, which is perfect for fall and winter in my opinion. Definitely not a spring color story to me at all. Beautiful. I love the eyes, how the eyes look with that eyeliner. Super cool. So yeah, this is one of my favorite. These are not drying. They're kind of velvety finish, which I really like, because a lot of the matte lipsticks are not comfortable. This lacquer, you guys, not a big fan. It's kind of like patchy. Okay, here is a like a swatch in the studio lighting for you. As you can see, it's much darker than this Rouge Velvet, Allure Velvet down there that I smudged. And not a huge fan of this particular one, and it's very drying. Dries out my lips. And then of course I love the nail polish. It's like I said, my favorite, probably the one that would get used the most, more than any of these other pieces that I got. I did mean to buy the new Chanel concealer and review it for you, but I forgot to buy it, and I forgot to buy the single eyeshadows. But you know, it doesn't matter, because I only wanted to really wanted to review the Rouge Noir items anyway. It doesn't matter. They're just kind of like side products in this release. These are the stars of the collection. I forgot to pick up the concealer, but I will review it in an upcoming video of like luxury makeup, a haul that I do, luxury makeup haul, where I will review that in there with this. Okay, I will say stay tuned. I just ordered the Dior spring collection. Oh wow, is that a dream? Now that is a spring color story. Okay, that is super springy, and I can't wait to wear that color story, that Dior spring collection, with my Louis Vuitton white multicolor items. Oh my gosh, they're gonna really go well together. I'm imagining myself in a crisp white dress with my white multicolor items with the Dior spring makeup on my face. Mwah, it's gonna be awesome. But anyway, stay tuned for that. It's gonna be here in a few days, so probably next weekend I will review the Dior spring collection 2026. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up or subscribe to my channel. It really helps me grow the community. It doesn't cost you anything. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and other social media. I will see you guys in my next video.